Hello folks, how's it going? Right, last week I made a video talking about the fact that reviewers these days are clearly political activists rather than reviewers, to the point where they'll tell you a film that's about as enjoyable as nailing your testicles to the kitchen table is fucking brilliant, as long as they agree with the politics behind it. Now, this irritates me because, frankly, like I'm sure most people are the same, normal people don't want to make everything in life about politics. Sometimes you just want to be entertained, have a crack with your mates, go and watch a film, have a few pints, and enjoy your fucking life. Not everything has to be about bloody politics. It's starting to do my head in. So anyway, after reading some nice reviews of the new Mandalorian TV show, despite the fact Star Wars has gone downhill, definitely. Like, the first three were quality. The newer ones that came out a couple of decades back, with Jar Jar Binks and the like, was shite. But they weren't totally awful. They were just a bit shit. But the last two, especially the Last Jedi, was just woeful. It was activism masquerading as a science fiction movie. I did pay to go and watch The Force Awakens. It was essentially exactly the same as the first Star Wars film, i.e. the one in the fucking 80s. You know, it was desert orphan, befriends some robots, flies about in a Millennium Falcon and learns how to be a fucking Jedi. It was basically a remake. It wasn't like a seventh film in the series. It was like a fucking remake of the first one, of episode 1. So that's fucking stupid. And it annoyed me. But it wasn't diabolical. However, the second one was criminally bad. It was just political activism masquerading as a fucking science fiction movie. It ruined the canon. It was just shite. However, people said The Mandalorian was good. So I thought, you know what? A lot of my mates said it was good. Fuck it, I'll give it another chance. Give it another shot. Checked it out. Enjoyed it. Wasn't bad. Basically, it was like a western with blasters in. Not terrible. If you like the original, The Man with No Name sort of shit, Sergio Leone westerns, it's decent. You'll enjoy it. So imagine my fucking surprise when I went onto the BBC website, check out the news like I always do, and followed a link to their review of The Mandalorian. Amazingly, despite the fact I really enjoyed it, and I think I'm quite picky with media, it's very rare that I enjoy something a lot, because I'm a whinging bastard. But amazingly, they said it was shit. They said it's difficult to care about. They said, reaching for his weapon, an armoured, helmeted, raspy-voiced bounty hunter tells a green-faced guy with gills, I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold. The bounty hunter is the title character of The Mandalorian, and although the series is set in the Star Wars universe, see the fish-faced criminal, it is essentially an old-fashioned space western, which has as much to Clint Eastwood as to Han Solo. Well, I'd agree with that. But then it just goes in and starts whinging. It says, it's hard to imagine that anyone without an emotional attachment to Star Wars will care, and they give it a paltry 3 stars. Now, maybe they're just not into it, and you'd think, okay then, maybe they're like me, maybe they're fussy fuckers. But it made me think, what did they make of the last 2 Star Wars films? They said The Force Awakens is a maddening, almost triumph. The Force Awakens has everything you remember from the original wondrous trilogy. The real star of it is Harrison Ford. When The Force Awakens gets going, you couldn't ask for a more propulsive, joyous, or witty Star Wars film. The scenario becomes so overcrowded that it's a relief not to see Jar Jar Binks pop up. Ultimately, gives us too much and not enough, but it's an almost triumph. Some of it's glorious. 4 fucking stars. For that pile of shite, I'd give it 2. It's a fucking remake. And then, even worse, The Last Jedi. It's the most intelligent film in the franchise by several light years. By the time it gets to its closing, it's clear that it's something special. 4 fucking stars. You have to be mentally fucking ill to think that The Mandalorian's fucking shite, give it a paltry 3-star review and just say, nobody will care about this fucking film. And then give the last 2 Star Wars movies 4 stars apiece and say they're masterful and almost triumphs. You have to be mental. Unless Stevie fucking Wonder reviewed that film, I don't see how he gave that, especially the last one, 4 stars. I cannot believe they give that pile of shite 4 fucking stars, and The Mandalorian 3. And I just thought it was worth pointing out. My premise last week was obviously a correct one. These fuckers are not reviewers. If your job description is reviewer, be a fucking reviewer. Don't be a political activist, because I want to know whether something's worth watching. And it seems like in this day and age, you can't trust any of the fuckers. You can't trust Rotten Tomatoes. You can't trust the bastard BBC. The only person you can trust is your mate. Use your mates as fucking test dummies. Send them to the films you fancy watching and then ask them. Because that's the only way you're going to get an accurate review from a normal fucking human. Because these dopey twats are incapable of doing so. Anyway, what do you reckon? Anyone watch it? Anyone like The Mandalorian? Anyone hate it? Let me know. Maybe it's just me being fucking weird. But I do not see how The Mandalorian is worse than either of those last 2 films. Alright? Cheers.